All right, I used the two nut trick to transfer the studs from the old one to the new one, so you can tell I got that set. That's good. I've used my wire brush to clean these 4 bolts. You see these 4 bolts right here? I got them pretty clean. I think I might give them another round, but they're gonna need this blue RTV that I got. Put the blue RTV on these bolts, and then I got the gaskets around here somewhere. Yeah, the gaskets are right here. The lock washers, the old ones, were really in bad shape. They're not locking anything. So I went and got myself some new lock washers, and I got these. You'll need 4 bolts. I got my 4 bolts. And what else? Oh, non-marring scraper blades. So these are plastic, and when I use these plastic blades to clean down there and right there, I got to have that really, really clean for the gaskets. So I'm going to use these non-marring plastic blades. And I might just put a little bit of coating of this water pump thermostat housing gasket maker. So we're getting close. I need to get this back in the car, and I'm just preparing the way. All right, I put the plastic scraper in the razor blade tool, and I have tried my best to get that clean. I think it could be a little bit cleaner, but it's just some stuff seems to be stuck on there. Same thing for that side. It's going to be really disappointing. Where's that? It's going to be really disappointing to me if I put all this together and it still leaks and I got to take it all apart. So I gave it the best I could to clean both sides, and we're going to go with that. All right, we're about to start sticking the sticky stuff on here and getting ready to mount this water pump, the new one. I got my torque wrench. It's set for 30 pounds. The way this works is you pull this end out and you twist it, and I twisted it, and it's set for 30 pounds, which is good. I got the gaskets, which are gonna go right there. I'm gonna put the sealer on there to hold it in place. I'm gonna put the blue stuff on these bolts, and I'm gonna put those through here. Of course, the torque wrench is gonna lock them down, and we're about to stick it on there. But once you get started opening up the blue stuff and all the gasket sealer, the time starts going by quick, because you don't want it to get like sticky, right, or tacky or whatever. Anyway, I'm gonna do that. I can't hold the camera and do it all at the same time, so just trust me, that's my plan, and I'll let you know once I get it in. Got the gaskets on with the gasket sealer. The bolts got the RTV. I'm gonna get it in there. Wish me luck. I'm putting the camera down. All right, don't make the mistake when you hold it up there. See, I thought I was gonna hold it with my left hand and use my right hand to start the bolts, right? There's 4 of them. But, son of a gun, dropped a wrench. But anyway, don't make that mistake. Starting these things with your fingers is sometimes not easiest thing in the world. Make sure you got your 14mm wrench, right, 1/2 inch, and once you get that going, they start pretty easy. So anyway, it's on there now. Good. I just got to put 30 pounds on each bolt, and I'm gonna say a little prayer it doesn't leak, but we got it on there. It's all 4 of them are snug. I just got it, like I said, put the 30 pounds. But don't try to think you can. Maybe you can start it with your fingers, but it didn't work well for me. I just grabbed my 14mm 1/2 inch socket, and it started right up. Let's progress on from here. We got to put it all back together now. All right, look at this. Everything's starting to come back together, isn't it? It's good. So I think you're supposed to put 35 pounds of torque on those, but I don't have a torque wrench that small, so don't tell the owner, but I just guessed at it. And plus I put brand new lock nuts on it. I think it'll be okay. I got them pretty tight. All right, what's the next step? I got to figure out, oh, we got this part here and that part down there, right? So those got to go back on. We're getting close, folks. That's good. Maybe we'll get this truck started up today. All right, remember when I said there was a gap in the fan? There's a gap right there. If you turn it, there's another gap. There's a couple of gaps. That's good. Those gaps give you room to work. So we got this back in place. I think that's called the belt tensioner. And we got that back in place. I think that's called the, I don't know what that's called. That's called a placeholder or something. Anyway, it was 14, 15, or 16mm. I can't remember what it was. But remember when we took this thing apart and I said it's really important to pay attention how that belt's installed? See this tensioner, I put the 16-inch wrench on there. I'm gonna try anyway. And what I'm gonna do, see my hand, I'm gonna lift up on it. See how that whole thing, I think you can put the belt on there, because that'll loosen it and that'll tighten it. So that's gonna be important. And we're gonna have to figure out how to get this belt back on here. But my goodness, we're coming on, made a little progress today, huh? Let me find the belt and let's try to figure out how it goes back on here. And I'm gonna use this trick here to loosen, and you know, because you can't put it on unless you loosen it up a little bit. All right, that's all for now. All right, well, the belt's on there, and I tell you, putting that belt on was a lot easier than I thought it would be. I was expecting to struggle and go get my wife and do a lot of finagling and pulling and busting my knuckles, but putting that 16mm wrench right there and pulling up popped right in place. My goodness, it was easy. I'm thankful for that. It's Thanksgiving, and I'm thankful for an easy serpentine belt. I think the only thing we got left is hook up the hoses. There's one hose there. I think I got another hose. Yeah, there's a hose in a box over here. So we're gonna hook up the hoses and put the shroud back on. And my goodness, fill this thing up with coolant. Oh, see, this is all the coolant I collected. It's got some debris in there. What I might do is pour it through a strainer, a coffee filter, or maybe a rag or something to collect all the debris. And I'll even use the same coolant, right? Try to be efficient and what's it called? Energy efficient or green? Try to be green if I can. All right, we are making some progress. I'll be right back with you. All right. So I cleaned out the blue bucket really good, put a towel over it and duct taped it so it wouldn't hopefully fall apart. We're fixing to find out if my idea is any good. The one on the right's got all kinds of grass and dirt and debris, and I don't want that to go back in my system, obviously, but I don't want to waste the antifreeze. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. You guys can leave a comment and tell me how stupid I am, but I'm gonna try not to waste my antifreeze. Sometimes, let's just see if this will pour in there like I think it will. Look at that. The only thing I hadn't put back on is the shroud, and that's no problem. I'll do that very, very last, but as you can tell, I pulled it up on these ramps. The reason I did that is they tell me that it keeps the radiator cap at the highest position, so if there's any air, you know, it'll escape through the radiator cap. But I'm gonna sit here and let it idle for 20 minutes. I've already had it started, and the serpentine belt didn't come flying off or anything. So we're gonna call it done. If you don't see a part 4, what that means is, let me get on up in here. If you don't see a part 4, what that means is that I've got it and it's working. So let's start it back up. So, best I can tell, everything's working. We're gonna call it fixed. I'm gonna let this idle here for a little bit, make sure it's not leaking. And I don't see no leaks anywhere. If there is a leak, it's coming from, it was coming from this in the beginning because it was so full. Right there. It's pretty wet because I had it overflowing. I'm pretty sure it's not leaking from the water pump. At least I pray it's not. But anyway, we're gonna check it for another 20 minutes. I'll let you guys know what we find, and we're gonna call it a done deal. Take care, God bless, and have a happy Thanksgiving.